Okay, hello everybody, welcome. Nice to see ya. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Hypocritic GG, streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Lou, some call me Cheat Speak. It's gonna sound a little different, it's gonna look a little different. Bear with me, but I'm gonna get in position right here. I'm coming. It's all gonna make sense in just a moment. It's not the usual setup, as I'm sure you will see, so apologies, and we appreciate your understanding up front. Nice to see you. How do I look? Terrible with the down lighting and the up lighting from the recessed lighting above me? Perfect. Thanks so much. Really appreciate the confidence boost there. Great. Nice to see you. So welcome to the show tonight. We are on the road to PAX West, as we often are when we're leading up to shows like this. And we thought it would be fun this time around. It doesn't look very good. I'm gonna try to make it a little better. Bear with. Oh, this is not going to do it. No, because that's not going to tilt the way I want it to. Get back a little bit. How's that? That'll have to do. Hello. We are kicking off we're not kicking off. We're fine. I'm good. Don't worry about me. It's Thursday night. I'm not even supposed to be here. What are you talking about? It's the road to PAX West, and what we love to do is give you convention-centric content, ideally from the show that we're covering, but from any PAX during the year. And this is a really fun one because we are taking a look at a game from PAX Unplugged 2024 that we personally backed on Kickstarter and has now come to fruition in the form of a beautifully published set of materials called PNW, Pacific Northwest. So I'm going to go onto the Kickstarter page, read to you a little bit about what the game is, what it entails. We're going to have a nice, chill, quiet night for ourselves. Here's my hand. I'm here. I'm a real full-bodied person in a different perspective than you normally see me. But here we are. So we're going to talk a little bit about this game, what it actually entails, why there's cards spread out in front of me, what they look like, and all these kinds of different things. So if you were to go on to PNW's Kickstarter to get more information, which, you know, again, this was quite a long time ago. Full Metal's here and rightfully calling out Pacific Northwest, PNW. That's where I am. And this is really going to speak to you because it is entirely based on the region where the creator is from. So this, again, was at PAX Unplugged 2024 that we personally backed. I'll even add like a little disclaimer if we have to. This was a project that we did cover for the channel, but that we personally backed with our own money. There was no kind of greased palms or anything like that. We just thought this was really cool and wanted to back it, and we ended up they ended up funding before Unplugged was even over. They hit their pretty modest Kickstarter goal, and that was really awesome. So $2,000 was the Kickstarter goal, and they raised almost $18,000, which was fantastic, and helped this to come out. So again, it's a PNW, card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest. So let's talk a little bit about it. You can see one of the decks laid out in front of me here with some very, very pretty artwork. We'll give you a close-up on one of the jokers here if the light cooperates. See that? Lovely. Some custom card art on the back as well. Very pretty. So what is it? Well, it's a game from a Seattle-based game designer Thomas Cardwell, debuting a book of card games featuring delightful illustrations by Megan, I'm going to butcher this, Wyreweden, Wyreweden. So what is this? I'm going to their specific summary just so I read it, a little more efficiently. This is kind of listed now. You can probably see it scrolling through here, what the game is and how it all works. I guess we'll start here. PNW, Card Games Inspired by the Pacific Northwest, is a fully illustrated book of 6 modern games for fans of card games, board games, and the Pacific Northwest. All you need is a deck of cards to hunt with a pod of orcas, forage for tasty mushrooms, brave the swift rivers of the Salmon Run, and more. Created and illustrated by Pacific Northwest locals as an ode to card games and the beauty of the region, these 6 games are a great way to dive into the world of fast and fun games with a familiar set of components. And then there's an overview, which we will get into, of each game specifically, what it entails, how to play it, how many players. In Thomas's own words, each of the games is designed to evoke something interesting, unique, or something I love about the region I call home. I believe the book offers a variety of experience for gamers and novices alike, but all of the games are intended to be approachable. The games have been collectively play-tested over 500 times with close to 100 individuals who gave feedback at dinners, game nights, conventions, and work lunches, aka whenever I could convince someone to play. So it is very, very cool. So we're going to walk through, I think, part of the Kickstarter package that we received by funding the game and going in on it, so you can see, and we'll pull out some of the rewards here. Ours came with 2 decks in particular, which I think have different card art on the back of them. A nice little canvas bag to store everything in, some tokens, hand-carved wooden tokens like this, which you can see, which is very cool. And again, very reminiscent of the region there, right? You have all 4 suits, etc., which is really nice. A book, an actual printed book of all of the games that you can play. There it is, nice PNW. This is a nice almost canvas texture, and that's obviously very glittery. It's going to shine in the sun. And then a list of them on the back, which we will read about, and I'll actually read from the book because that's going to be our instruction manual for the solitaire kind of game that we're going to play tonight, since it is just me hanging out in Hypocritic HQ here for now. And then a little note, a nice little note from Kickstarter, or for Kickstarter backers, which I will publicize and read to you now. Thank you for supporting our PNW Kickstarter. You've supported a family-run indie game company, a local Pacific Northwest illustrator, and our journey in game design. We are lucky to have friends, family, and total strangers willing to take a chance on this endeavor. We hope you enjoy the games and cards as much as we enjoyed creating them, and we happen to be backer number 77 out of 877. That is a super nice flow of 7, so if you're into that sort of thing, hey-oh. We're going to open up the book here and talk about the 6 games that are on offer. PNW. Card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest. There's a big, long introduction. There's beautiful artwork for each game type that's in here. And what I would really like is just that quick summary of each of these 6 games. So I'm actually going to pull the iPad back out, which we never see on camera, but that's the state that we're in right now. And we're going to read off their description of each of the games. Again, we're going to be playing the solitaire-based one this evening, but so you have an idea. Again, there were 6 games for various, player and group sizes with various rules. So, as you can probably see on the iPad, we're listing through here. First one, Forage, players 2 to 8, complexity 1. Explore a forest and gather baskets of mushrooms faster than your opponents in this set collection game. That's 1. Number 2, Trail, players 3 to 4, complexity 2. Pack supplies for your journey, then hike past landmarks in this drafting and resource management game. Orca Isles, players 3 through 6, complexity 2. Place orcas from your pod to gather prey and collect poker hands to hunt at wooded isles in this worker placement game. That's number 3. Number 4, Cabin by the Sea. This is what we'll be playing tonight. Players 1, complexity 3. Build stacks of cards from the sea, the beach, and your own supply. Each turn, the sea gives and the sea takes in this solitaire game. Salmon Run, not the Splatoon kind, the PNW kind. Players 2, complexity 4. Brave the chilly waters and predators along the salmon run, acclimating to changing conditions of the sea, the river, and the stream in this deck-building game. And finally, Signal Fire, players 4, complexity 5. Communicate to your partner with smoke and fire signals moving around the ridge and valley strategically in this team trick-taking game. So there's something for everyone, and we found a lot of appeal in the idea of taking just a standard 52-card deck. That's all these are. You flip to a random one. There's your King of Clubs right there. It's just really neat artwork for what is a standard 52-card deck that you would see. And grafting really interesting or new or different mechanics onto what is, again, just a very, very familiar set of cards and of gameplay setups that everyone at some point in their lives has certainly seen. So that's always really, really fun. And again, if you are interested in this at all, as it says right here, where it again reminds you of all of the different ways you can play, discover a book of 6 modern card games at gameswell.shop. So all of this will be in the video description once this stream wraps up, but gameswell.shop, you can see gameswell.shop. is where you can buy the decks for yourself as well as the rule books of how to play each and every one of these games. So let's begin. Like I said, we're going to play the solitaire-based game tonight, which is Cabin by the Sea, and you will probably get at least some of the rules as I read through them here. Again, this is going to be a really chill night. This is this kind of impromptu setup where I'm actually at our kitchen table here in the apartment, and obviously not in the usual setup that we normally have. My hand looks so tiny back there. Look at it. It's like I got a little baby legs, regular legs. Oh, I gotta catch the guy. There's a little Rick and Morty for you. Alrighty, Cabin by the Sea. So what do we have here? Build a cabin using the materials around you. The sea brings and the sea takes. Utilize your resources in the proper order to build your abode without losing too much to the depths. Finally, look around and take in the salty ocean air from your completed cabin by the sea. And what a beautiful layout it is in this book, where you can see some gorgeous artwork in there, very well laid out. Set of instructions that we're going to read through, of course. And again, just to fully clarify, this stream is not sponsored by PNW. No greased palms happened. No money was exchanged. We backed this Kickstarter personally after interviewing them and taking a look at the game at PAX Unplugged. Speaking of, if you want to learn a little bit more about the development process behind this game and, Thomas himself, the creators of it, right on our YouTube channel, we do have an interview with Thomas, and it's all about PNW. So that's in the PAX Unplugged 2024 playlist if you're interested. That will also probably be linked down below once we're all done here. Again, if you're watching on YouTube. So here we go. Alrighty, so components here. We have 152 card deck without jokers. I don't know if you can read that here, but the goal is to get the lowest number of points lost to the sea. Okay, so let's get this set up. Separate aces, face cards, and numeric cards. Shuffle the numeric cards. So we are going to put these two gorgeous jokers aside. We have, I believe, a heron and a crow. Is that what we have there? Something like that. I'm stupid, though, so probably not. Alrighty, so we are separating the aces. Let's go in and put them all aside. This is the first time I've actually cracked open the deck in general, so it is all fresh and in order, and we love to see that. There's our third ace and ace number 4. How lovely. And then we're going to put the instructional set and the separator card over to the side as well. All right, so these are face cards also go in a separate pile. So we're going to put Jack, Queen, Kings off to the side as well. Just like that. Or isn't it nice to have a chill, quiet night on stream for once? We're not yelling at any games. We're not trying to stun on these hoes. We're just sort of living our best lives, and that's awfully nice. I'm going to start feeling like Bob Ross here after a while. There are no mistakes. We just have happy accidents. And look at these wonderful little trees in the background. Dude, sorry for the finger jump scare there. That's a little gross. This is the desk view camera from my my iPhone. So that's why it's using the ultra wide. So if it gets a little warped as I'm tilted toward the camera, I apologize. I will try to be cognizant of that. Alrighty, so we're going to shuffle the numeric cards as per the instructions of the game. Once we do this, create the supply. Shuffle together 4 aces plus 12 random numeric cards and place the pile face down. That's going to go on the left-hand side of 3 piles we're going to make. Create the beach. Shuffle all 12 face cards and place the pile face up. So the aces and 12 random numerics will go into the supply at random. I wish I could ripple shuffle, but I can't, and I'm trying to be a little delicate with the cards here because this is a brand new set, and we don't want to be mean to the cards. As I said, there are 2 separate decks. That's getting pretty well shuffled up here. I'll take that. Alrighty, so there's that. So we're going to, once again, shuffle together 4 aces, so that's all of these, plus 12 random numeric cards, which we're going to do face down. So let's have a separate pile for those right there. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are 4 aces plus 12 random numeric cards. These are all shuffled together. We're going to get those nice and messy. Just like that. And that's going to be our supply on the left-hand side. The beach are all 12 face cards shuffled with the pile face up. So we're going to shuffle all these in. Just like that. We're going to place those face up. King of Beavers. How wonderful. Create the sea. Place all remaining numeric cards, which is all of these, face down. So we have the supply, the beach, and the sea. Just like that. Gameplay. Each turn, draw the top card from the sea pile. So that is this one. Then choose to use the sea card to build onto a new or existing cabin stacks, one of 8 stacks placed to the left of the supply pile. So we're going to need to tweak our setup here. Now again, this is basically our first time running through this, so apologies for any naivete or slowness that we have as we start to ramp this up here. Alrighty, so we are going to draw the top card from the C pile, which is a 9 of clubs. Yay. What a lovely design it is. Look at that artwork. We can use that to build onto a new or existing cabin stack, or, and I'm going to lift up the book here to read, use the top card of either the supply or the beach to build your cabin. You must use this card to build onto a new or existing cabin stack. The revealed C card is taken by the tide, pulled to a stack to the right of the C pile. So we're going to need a little room off on the side. Okay, so let's see. Each turn, play 1 card to build a cabin with the surrounding materials. You may create a new cabin stack with any card until you have 8 stacks. You may build on existing cabin stacks at any time. To build on an existing cabin stack, place a card on top of the stack. The played card must be of the same suit as the stack and of higher value than its topmost card, so you have to build upwards. Aces may be played as both the highest and lowest value for stacking purposes. Once you run out of C cards, each turn thereafter, you must choose to play a card from the top of the supply, beach, or tide. You may look through the tide pile unless playing the Murky Depths variant, which we will discuss later. If you don't have any available options to place a chosen card, it is lost to sea. Place the card above the tide pile, somewhere up there. Yeah, so the tide would be over there, so that would be here, and that would be behind my stupid mug, so that's not a good idea. So we're going to put these guys down here, right in view of the glaring light, but, you know, what can we do? And then the tide will go here, and then the lost to sea will go up there. Place the card above the tide pile, so that would go sort of like this, rotated horizontally. If you choose to reveal a card from the supply pile, place it in the lost to sea pile only if it is not valid on any existing cabin or new stack. You may view the contents of a face-up stack. You may not look at the contents of a face-down stack. At the end of the game, all cards will be either in your cabin piles or lost to sea pile. For your score, tally up points from cards lost to sea. The lower the point total, the better the score. 1 point per numeric card, 2 points per face card, 3 points per ace. So I'm sure we'll be referring back to this fairly frequently. All right, so we have our 9 from the what do you call it? The C pile. So we use that to either build onto a new or existing cabin stack, or use the top card of either the supply or the beach to build your cabin. You must use this card to build onto a new or existing cabin stack. The revealed C card, which is right here, is taken by the tide, pulled to a stack to the right. That's right. Okay. So we're going to use this to... So this is a 9. And what was in the supply or the beach to build your cabin? The supply is aces and 12 random cards. So what we can do right off the bat here is we can take one out of the supply pile, which is also a 9. So there's irony for you. So we use that to build one of the cabin stacks, and this one goes out with the tide. There you go. So then this continues, I believe, until we no longer have any cards or stacks to play. Is that right? You may create a new cabin stack until you have 8. To build on an existing cabin stack, it must match the same suit and be higher. That's right. Once you run out of C cards, which again is that third pile there, each turn thereafter, you must choose to play a card from the top of the supply, beach, or tide. You may look through the tide pile unless playing Murky Depths. If you don't have any options to place a chosen card, it is lost to sea. Okay, so we basically go until we have 8 cabin stacks filled up, and then we slowly build on top of them. So let's continue building from the sea pile. Each turn, you have to draw the top card from the sea pile anyway. So this is a 3 of clubs, which we will build a fresh cabin pile out of, just like that. And we continue on each turn. All right, so here we have a 10 of diamonds. That's probably not ideal for this. So what we can do is use the top card of either the supply or the beach to build your cabin. So if we take from the supply again right here, that's great. That is an ace of hearts, so that'll live right there. And again, look at that beautiful artwork. Look at that, so lovely. Hurricane Ridge. Full Metal, ring any bells? What do we know about Hurricane Ridge? Maybe we'll just call out the landmarks that it lists out here, and you can just give us your own experience with it. So 10 goes out to the tide, and we will deal with the tide pile later. So we've got 3 running here already. Let's see how this continues. So if we stack 4 next to each other, we should be in good shape in terms of spacing here. Alrighty. Tide comes in, tide comes out. You can't explain it. We have a 4 of spades, and that's, I think, good enough to start its own pile. So we'll go with that. 7 of diamonds. We don't have a diamond pile yet, but I'm optimistic that we can do better. So let's pull from the supply here. And that's another good call. That is the ace of diamonds. What she said, I think there's hurricanes on that ridge. That's helpful. Thank you. Well, we have another one here. Crater Lake. Again, beautiful artwork there. What can you tell us about Crater Lake? So there's that. What's this? 10 minutes. Walking over to Xerox is now leaving on the screen. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Next up, we just keep pulling from the C pile here. That is a 3 of spades. Can't play it on the 4 because we have to go in ascending order, right? The played card must be of the same suit as the stack and of higher value than its topmost card. So that's no good. We then have to pull from the supply pile here, and that is an 8 of hearts, which we will now have a choice for. So I hate to do that too. So I guess we'll put an 8 to have a heart going, and the 3 goes out to the tide. I'm not sure that these are very good strategies, but we're going to do our best anyway. 6 of diamonds, not playable unless we do this. Start a fresh one here. We have the 7 of, I keep wanting to say clubs, but it's spades. Your boy sleepy, apparently. And that can play on top of the 4 stack here. And there we go. Our first bit. Hooray. 4 of clubs, that's perfect, because that goes right on top of the 3 of clubs, just like that. Look at this fun little solitaire game we're playing here. This is great. We are living the dream. 2 of clubs. Unfortunate. That does give us a different out for smaller club-based cards, though. So that can ascend a lot faster. So I think that's a good move. We have a 4 of hearts. We can technically play that on top of the ace of hearts here. So we're going to do that and keep it going. And then, again, we score. Just to go back to that, the scoring is through all cards either being in your cabin piles or the lost to sea pile. For your score, tally up points from cards lost to sea. The lower the point total, the better the score. So we count up what's in the lost to sea pile at the very end. So we continue to draw from the sea pile, and then again we can either play this one immediately, or if we can't, we have to pull from either the supply or the beach to do so. Now, pulling from the beach is going to be tricky because that's all face cards, and we can at least see them. So we'll see. This is a 10 of hearts, which I will play here on top of the 8 of hearts. So that's already going to bring us closer to king territory there. I keep having to reach around. I can't just go here because the tripod is here, which you can see because it is directly next to me. Like I said, again, we had to try to get a little creative with spacing here. We needed a table big enough to do this at in the first place. So obviously that's our kitchen table. So we had to move all the stream stuff out here, which is why my lighting is so glorious tonight. I'm going to play this VOD back and just cringe because it's going to look horrific. Nightmare fuel. All right, so we're in a tough position with the spades because the only one we have out, we have 2 and it's down to a 7. So we have to pull from the supply here, and that is a 10 of spades, and that actually works out really well. So we can play that here. And the 5 of spades goes to the tide. 5 of clubs. That's perfect too. So this will go, and then we kind of have the 2 and the 5 out at the same time, so that'll be interesting. 8 of diamonds. That's a good play over here. Yes, indeedy. Love to see that. 9 of diamonds. Also great right there. Maybe that'll just continue to flow on in an advantageous way for us. Let's see. 6 of spades. Again, we're going to be hard pressed on the spades, so let's go straight to the supply here, and we've got a 5 of diamonds, which we also can't play. Yes, we can, actually. We have to play that on top of the ace. So that's fine. This goes out to the tide. Now, let me see. When it goes to lost to C, if you don't have any available options to place a chosen card, it is lost to C. Okay, so you're drawing the top from the C pile no matter what. Just like this. That is a 9 of hearts, which we can play, but we're going to try to 4 of diamonds first. Okay. That would mean, oh, you must use this card to build onto a new or existing cabin stack, which we cannot do. So since we pulled it out, we cannot use it. So it gets lost to C. That's our first loss to C so far. And then this one from the C card gets taken by the tide. Understood. Maybe we'll refine a little bit as we go. 3 of diamonds. We're not playing that, so we have to try for this. And that is an ace of clubs, which unfortunately we can play. So that's where this 2 is going to come in real handy. So that's going to basically polish off that particular stack. And this goes to the tide. Okay. 6 of clubs. Good timing there because that's got to go with the 2. Nothing lost to the tide this time. We've got an 8 of clubs, which is also very good timing. So that's going to hang out there as well. We're going to move these guys down a little bit. Let's do this. That's a 7 of clubs. That is not good timing. So we're going to pull one from here. That is a 10 of clubs, which we have to play, and we can anyway. So that's going to be right here. I'm going to kind of mess with that pile a little bit. And this goes out to the tide. Just a couple more here. A 5 of hearts we can play successfully, so that's good. It's Miss Nephroptosis says hi. Hey, hello, nice to see you. I'm at the kitchen table. How about that? 2 of spades cannot play, so we pull from the supply to get an ace of spades. We're going to put that down onto the 10 there so that we leave the 7 open for more illustrious options. And now we're down to the supply, the tide, and this. She has a Wi-Fi question. Sorry, everyone. Oh, no. See, you only love me for my Wi-Fi. I knew this. I can message you separately what the Wi-Fi is. So let me do that for you quickly, and we will memorialize this forever in the VOD. Very good. All right, you should have the info. Alrighty, so once you run out of C cards, each turn thereafter, you must choose to play a card from the top of the supply, beach, or tide. You may look through the tide pile unless playing the Murky Depths variant. And there are variants which we will discuss toward the end. You're welcome. Hope you're enjoying. Sarah is out in a boot this weekend, which we love to see. So I mean, yeah, we have so we can kind of see what's in the tide here, and I don't know that there's going to be much that we can play right away here. We can't for some time, and we know this. King is going to be, these are going to basically take off any stacks that we already have. So let's take some risks and start pulling from the supply and see what we get. 3 of hearts, that's not going to play, so that goes into Lost at Sea. We have a 2 of hearts, even worse. Back out to Lost at Sea. Sorry, hearts. We're not heart fans here. 8 of spades, we can play successfully right there, so that's a good one. 2 of diamonds, not even close. We do have a low diamond dangling out there, though, so that's good. We've got the 6 of hearts, which we can also play right here, so that's a little comforting. The 7 of hearts, even better, so we're going to play that right there. And that is all of our supply pile. So now we either go through the tide pile or we start milling through the beach pile. The beach is all face cards, so that's going to be the real challenge here. Let's find. We're just going to work through the tide here. We have to go top to bottom, but again, we can sort of look through it. So starting at the top, we've got 2, 7, 3 of diamonds, 9 of hearts is probably the first one we can play there successfully, but that's okay. 6 of spades we can't do. 5 we obviously can't do. 3 we can't do. There's 1 or 2 that we can play here. So we're going to go ahead and work through the entire C pile right now. So let's go ahead and do that. 2 of spades we can't play, so that goes out to Lost at Sea. I'm just going to... Oh, hello. Hi. Did you want to have an earthquake? Which I shouldn't joke about because we've had like 2 or 3 earthquakes in Jersey over the past couple of weeks that you felt. They were like 2, 3 on the scale. No joke. 7 of spades, not an option. Out we go. 3 of... diamonds, not an option. Out we go. 9 of hearts we can play, and that goes right here. 6 of spades, 5 of spades, 3 of spades. None of those we can play. So those all get sent to the briny depths. 7 of diamonds we can play right up here, and that's a comfort. 10 of diamonds we can play. Let's play it right on the 9 here so that we continue to progress upward. And then 9 of clubs we cannot play, so that goes away. Now we have to play through the entirety of the beach pile, and I don't know how this is going to go. We tried to queue this up. We got to go one at a time, so let's see. The king of hearts we will put down on the 10 to leave us an option on the other side. Queen of clubs we can play right here. Don't know where those jacks are. Jack of hearts, this is why we did that, so that goes right here. Queen of spades, we have to play here because we're already at an ace on that side. King of clubs we can play right here, so that's good. King of spades we can also play right here. Queen of hearts goes right here on the end. Jack of spades we cannot play, so that goes away. Queen of diamonds we can play, and we're going to put that right here. Jack of diamonds we can play, and that goes right here. Jack of spades we cannot play, or sorry, Jack of clubs, that goes away. And king of diamonds we can play right here. So there's our board, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great success getting everything out and either on the board or lost at sea somewhere. So drink it all in. That's what we've got. Let's now go through the lost at sea pile in tallying up scoring. At the end of the game, all cards will either be in your cabin piles or the lost to sea pile. From your score, or for your score, tally up points from cards lost to sea. The lower the point total, the better the score. Assign points as follows. 1 point per numeric card and 2 points per face card, 3 points per ace. I think we made out pretty good there because we didn't have any aces in the Lost at Sea pile. So we have let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then each of these count for 2. So that is 13, 15 points. The lower the better. So that's probably not terrible to start for having no idea what we're doing, blindly going into this. I think that's not too bad. So let's make a note. I don't have anything to really write it down with. So chat, it's up to you. Keep a record of what we've done here so far. That is 15 points for us. Alrighty, let's play again. I'm going to read out the variants that are built into the rulebook here. So we may try one of those as well as we go, but I want to try another version or another run through of just the standard base version of this game, which again is referred to as Cabin by the Sea, as part of the PNW package of unique gameplay mechanics with this 52 card deck that we all know and love so well. So the variants are as follows. Cabin Stacks has a variant. The game can be made harder by using only 7 cabin stacks instead of 8, and made easier by using 9 cabin stacks. Murky Depths is a variant. Shuffle the tide pile and place it face down once the sea pile runs out. That does make it harder. We may want to try that one. Stockpiling. You may place the sea card revealed on each turn on top of the beach pile instead of a cabin pile. That's interesting. So you sort of continue to load it up as you go. Intriguing. All right. So let's reset everything. So to get it back to normal here, the 4 aces plus 12 random numeric cards go into the supply pile. So we're going to separate out the aces. Right, like where was the other? Hello, 4th ace. There you are. So we'll separate those out. We'll have 4 or 12 numeric cards join them. All of the bump and everything. All of the face cards go into their own pile on the beach. So there should be 12 here in total. I have this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We will shuffle those separately. And now we recollect all of our face cards, which definitely need a pretty legit shuffle here, because this is all in a very discrete order now. We're going to carve out 12 of those, put them with the aces as expected here. And then we will start again. So as we shuffle through here, nice to see y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And on an irregular night for us, just could not get this stream off the ground this week with adulting being so challenging and perverse this time around. It was just it was a busy week. It was a long week, and this required a little bit more setup and forethought, despite how sort of kind of ramshackle and yucky the lighting is. So again, I apologize that this is maybe not as super polished up as our normal stream content, but it is a different look in a different part of the Hypocritic HQ here. And appreciate your understanding to bring you some unique content here on the road to PAX West. This is, of course, in the run-up to the major industry shows that we cover throughout the year. We love to give you the scoop and look back and forward on some of the content that we like from these shows, some of the games that we like to cover, some of the PAX experience in all form, panels, tournaments, after parties, all of that fun stuff. And in a lot of cases, we love to follow up on games that we found in previous PAXs that have, come to fruition and released and that we're currently enjoying. So this is a great example of not something at PAX West, though certainly applicable to PAX West since it's based on the Pacific Northwest, but something we found personally at PAX Unplugged 2024. So just a few short months ago. Loved it. Thought it was a really unique and cool idea. We sat down with the creator of it, Thomas, and that interview is available if you're watching it on YouTube, right here on our YouTube channel. If not, there's a link to that on our Twitch. So highly encourage you to check out our interview with them. We cover a lot of ground with Thomas there, including the mechanics, putting this all together, the uniqueness of making a card game as opposed to a more customized, bespoke board game or a video game of sorts, and how to go about doing these sort of projects on your own. So it's a very interesting discussion. Highly recommend you check out that interview here on YouTube if you're interested. So we have our 4 aces here. We're going to dish out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these. The rest of these go onto the C pile just like that. We're going to shuffle up this. Make sure that all the aces are properly mixed in there. Thank you so much. Like I said before, it's nice to have just a nice quiet night on stream. We don't even have any background noise. I didn't even prep any royalty-free tracks that we're not going to get flagged for in talking through this. So that's all well and good. But it's not Mario Kart tonight. It's not Splatoon. It's nothing crazy. We're just kind of hanging out with each other on a nice chill Thursday night. At least when we're airing this live. So I hope you're all staying safe and doing well out there. Catch us up. How y'all doing? Let us know how life's been for you. So we've got our supply card, the 4 aces plus the 12 random numerics. We've got the remaining numeric cards face down. And we're going to go at it again. We're actually going to shuffle our 12 face cards as well, because I don't think we gave those a decent shuffle. So we're just going to flip these around real nice. Just like that. And we'll start with the King of Diamonds, of course. Alrighty, let's begin again. 1 C card at a time. 5 of hearts. That's a nice low one. I'll take that. There's a little, it's a little gunk on the table. We can't have that. We got brand new cards here. That's not nice. 5 of hearts. First cabin down. We have 8 cabin piles to fill up here. 9 of spades. That's kind of a high one. Let's take a risk with the pile here. And that was a good risk. We get the ace of clubs out, so this can go out to the tide. And that worked out really well. So we're starting out a lot better already. I can feel it. 10 of diamonds, not ideal. Let's take another risk out of the pile here. That's a little better. 8 of diamonds is a slightly more reasonable start. So we cascade that away. To the tide with ye. 9 of clubs. I don't know about that one. Let's go out to the supply. Not ideal. Not ideal. 9 of hearts. Let's make a separate pile for that one. That'll be our 2 heart piles, and then we'll cascade that one out to the tide. We've got the 9 of diamonds, which is fortuitous because that goes right on top of the 8. No harm, no foul there. We've got the 6 of clubs, which we can play on the ace, but also that removes 2 through 5. So I'm going to play that down here just to give us a little breathing room. We've got the 7 of hearts, which we can play on top of the 5. So we're going to do that. We've got the 7 of diamonds. Getting a little high up there. I don't want to burn a second one and waste all of these diamonds if I can help it. So that gives us, nice, the ace of spades right there. So this guy goes away. Solitaire. Who knew? Next up, 5 of spades. We can play right on top of the ace, or we can start a second pile, which I think we're going to do here. So that leaves us with 1 more club pile to start if we want 2 for each, and we kind of do. Seems to have been working well. 6 of hearts. We cannot play that one, so we're going to take a risk out of here. That's the 8 of clubs, and I like that. So we're going to... Actually, it's 1 more of diamonds that we need because we have the ace of clubs there already. So we're going to play this on top of the 6 right there, and we're going to send this one to the tide, as one might expect. 10 of clubs, which we're also going to play on top of this end of it. So we have a nice little cascade going right there already. That's pretty good. 5 of diamonds. This is going to be the start of our other diamond pile, I think. So that's going to gate off our lower numericals, but that's okay. 8 of diamonds, 8 of hearts we can play. So we're going to put that right there in a neat little pile. Neat little pile. We've got the 2 of spades. Perfect to go on top of an ace, which again can be your highest card or your lowest card. Aces are tricky like that. And a 4 of spades is also going to be very useful right there. So that's already going a lot better for us. We've got the 7 of spades. Yeah, I like that. We're going to put that right on top of the 5. So we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. We've got the 2 of diamonds. Cannot play that one. So we're going to dig out to the supply to get the 4 of hearts, which we also can't play. Unfortunate. So that means the one from the supply is going to have to go out to sea, and this one goes out to the tide because it came from the sea. This is a 3 of spades, which we cannot play. So we have to go out to the supply here to give us the 10 of spades. That's not a huge jump, so we'll take that right here. Put this guy out over there. We've got the 4 of diamonds, which is a little bit past where we want to be, so we're going to take out of this again. Oof. Ace of hearts, not ideal. So we're going to put that on top of the 9 here, and that's basically going to seal off that particular one. So we'll put that aside. We've got the 3 of diamonds, which we cannot play. You have to do one or the other. You either have to play the card you have or use the supply or the beach. So we have to flip over to the 8 of spades. So that's going to go here, and we're going to get this out to the tide. Once you run out of sea cards, you must choose to play a card from the top of the supply, beach, or tide. So that's where it sort of varies. So we kind of want to get through as much of the sea as we can. So that's a 5, and that's not going to work. Well, technically it can. So we're going to play that on top of the ace because we have to, right? Next one, the 2 of hearts. Can't play that one, that's for damn sure. So we're going to flip over the 6 of diamonds, which is actually great because that's 1 up on our 5 there. So that can go out to the tide. 2 of clubs we absolutely can't play, so that's going to go 3 of clubs, which we also can't play. That's unfortunate. So that one goes out to sea. This one goes to the tide. World spins madly on. We got the 4 clubs, which we also can't play. So we go out to the supply one more time to get the 7 of clubs, which we can. So that's going to go up on the 5. This one's going to go out to the tide. And now there's a lot of low cards in this. Our tide here is honestly mostly probably going away to to be lost at sea, unfortunately. We do have to get through the rest of our supply here, though, and I'm afraid those aces, there's still, what? How many aces are left in there? Only 1. So we could maybe take our chances there and try to do that, and maybe we will. We know right off the bat that we're not going to get any farther with a lot of these cards, so we can go through the tide here and start to discard some of them that we can't use. So the 4 of clubs we can't use, the 2 of clubs we can't use, the 2 of hearts we can't use, the 3 of diamonds we can't use, 4 of diamonds, 3 of spades, 2 of diamonds, 6 of hearts we can't use. So we're going to work through all of this first. 7 we can. Okay, so this is all. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards going out to there. Why do we have... I'm sorry, my gawky looking arm here. We got to get rid of the spam. Bye-bye now. Can't be interrupting our quiet, comfy time here. All right, 7 of diamonds we can play right here. We've got the 9 of clubs, which we can play right here. We've got the 10 of diamonds, which we can play right here. We'll have a little stack like that. And the 9 of spades we can also play right there. All right, so now that gives us the opportunity. I guess we can maybe work through the rest of the supply because there's only 1 ace left in there. So maybe we give that a go, one at a time. We've got the 3 of hearts. Can't play it. That ace there really kind of did us in, and playing the 9 when we had to was tough. The ace of diamonds, so that's going to kind of, oh, that's not great because we already have the king here. So that's going to kind of mess us up for the rest of those, unfortunately. All right, so this has to go here. We've got the 6 of spades, which we can't play, so that goes away. And then lastly in the supply, we have the 10 of hearts, which we can play. And that one worked out pretty well. So that goes right there. Just like that. Now we go to our beach pile, which was all the face cards, and we got to go through these one by one. So from the top in, I think we can look at all the rest of these because it is face up. And it looks like we got a lot of kings up front, which is unfortunate, but true. So we got to go through these one at a time. King of diamonds, we play through right here. Jack of clubs can go on this pile here. King of spades, we got to play down right here, just like that. King of clubs, we got to play down. We want to leave room for the queen, so we'll play the king there. We've got the jack of diamonds, which we cannot play because we blocked those off, so away that goes. Queen of hearts, we can play over here, so there's that. Jack of spades, we can play here. Jack of hearts, we cannot play because we've burned all of those. Queen of spades, we can play right here, and that's going to seal that off. Queen of clubs, we can play up at the top, which we like. Queen of diamonds, unfortunately not. King of hearts over here, and that is the board, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 complete, and we have quite a few in the lost at sea pile here, so let's see. Again, we count them up here, and the lower the score, the better. You assign 1 point for each numerical card, 2 points for each face card, and 3 points for each ace. So let's see how we did. I see 3. We had 15 points last round, so I'm feeling like this one might have gone a bit worse. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 2 for each face card, 14, 16, 18 points. So a little bit worse than round 1, but we're still learning. We're going to see how it goes. So we're going to shuffle in again, and we're going to play through a third round before we maybe add in one of the variants or the modifiers that the game suggests. So we have to get all of our face cards together, put them back in as the beach pile, right? So let's start there. Let's grab all of these. Yes, yes, yes. We will shuffle those separately, of course. We like the beaver, so the beaver goes up front. The 4 aces get set aside for the supply pile, and that's a good idea. So those get set aside, and now we put all of the numerical cards back together and give them a real good shuffle up, I guess, here. And we're going to continue. So, since these require a lot of vamping and monologuing and interluding, we're going to catch back up with you. How y'all doing? Nice to see y'all here tonight for a bit of a change of pace for us here on Hypocritic GG. We're playing card games here on the channel, and not just any card game, a fun, unique indie card game called PNW from indie creators out in the Pacific Northwest, hence the name, PNW. Pacific Northwest. 6 different game types and variants you can play with a standard 52-card deck, whether it's the custom deck that was made for PNW or any set of like bicycle cards or casino cards you have floating around your own home. All up for grabs, all with fun things that you can do. There are deck building games. There are trick games. There's solitaire, of course, which is the one that we're doing here. And if I were to go back to the book and enumerate them all while I'm doing this, because there is a beautiful bound hardcover book to go with some of the Kickstarter orders. There's a set collection game for 2 to 8 players called Forage, a drafting game for 3 to 4 players called Trail, worker placement game for 3 to 6 players called Orca Isles, a 2-player deck building game called Salmon Run, a 4-player team trick-taking game called Signal Fire, and of course the 1-player solitaire game that we are indulging in right now, Cabin by the Sea. Again, if you're interested in anything that we're doing here to get your hands on these beautiful playing cards with gorgeous artwork yourself, or the rule book for all of these different games, again, nice and bound here. Right there, gameswell.shop is your way to do that. And again, we'll have all this in the description afterwards. Gameswell.shop. Check out our interview with the creator of PNW as well over on our YouTube channel here on Hypocritic GG. If you're interested, it is a beautiful Full Metal is right. It is a beautiful book cover for a very cool game and a very cool concept, bringing all of these more modern gameplay mechanics onto that standard 52 card deck that we all know and love. And it is just a very, very cool idea. So lots to learn about, you know, indie game development and being creative with the things you already have around your home and around your life. It's a cool interview. Check it out on the channel whenever you get a moment. This would be something fun for us to play as well in person at something like PAX West or PAX Unplugged if we're streaming, especially at Unplugged. You know, 1 year later, we're playing PNW out and about at the convention where we found it for the first time. That would be pretty fun. And, you know, obviously great with more players as well. Even just the, you know, 3 of us, Justin, Teresa, myself, that opens up Orca Isles, Trail, Forage, Full Metal joins us. We've got Signal Fire going. Salmon Run's all up in there. So you can play... 3 of the 6 games are open to... Well, 1 is just a 1-player. There's 2 2-player games, 1 that scales up to 8 players. 3 to 4 players seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of these. Take that for what you will. Alrighty, let's go again. So we have our 4 aces here. We're going to start by adding 12 random numeric cards to that as per the supply rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The rest of these are our C pile that we will have to draw from every turn. And we're just going to shuffle that up nice and quickly. Give it a whirl there. And so again, if you're just joining us or unfamiliar with the concept, that will stay face down. And we got to shuffle in the face cards as well. So give those a little room to run here. I wish I could ripple shuffle. I can't. And I also don't want to wreck the beautiful cards. So we're not going to do that. Queen of Salamanders going face up there. In case you're just joining us, this is a solitaire game called Cabin by the Sea in PNW. The main goal here is to build a cabin using the materials around you. The sea brings and the sea takes. Utilize your resources in the proper order to build your abode without losing too much to the depths. Finally, look around and take in the salty ocean air from your completed cabin by the sea. We pull from this sea pile every turn unless we try to take from the supply pile or the beach pile at the same time. Anything that we don't play from the sea pile while we have it goes out to the tide. Anything that we can't play after that goes to Lost at Sea, and that's what determines our point total at the end. We can have up to 8 cabins running at once, not unlike, you know, rows in different solitaire games you've probably played. So let's give it a third round here. We had 15 points at the end of round 1, 18 points at the end of round 2. Let's see if third time's the charm for setting the record. Starting out with a 7 of clubs, we can maybe take a risk already and pull out of this pile to see if we have something smaller. Let's try it. We don't. We have to play this now, which is unfortunate. That's the 8 of hearts, and the 7 goes out to the tide. Next one. 8 of diamonds. Not loving that either. Let's try to get something lower out of the supply, and we do. That is great. That's the ace of clubs. That's exactly what we're looking for, so this can go out to the tide as well. We've got the 6 of clubs, or sorry, the 6 of spades here. That's going to, I think, start its own pile as well. Let's roll with that to start. We've got the 9 of clubs. We can technically play it. Let's see if we get something better out of the supply instead. We kind of do. 5 of diamonds. I will take that. So the 9 goes out to the tide. How lovely. What's next from the sea? The 4 of diamonds. Unfortunate timing. We should pull from the supply, and we get another ace. That's awesome. Ace of spades, and that's perfect timing for us, so that can go away. We've got the 3 of hearts. That's a good one to play to start. And now we have 2 heart columns out, so that's good. We've got the 8 of spades. We like that, so we're going to put that over the 6, and we don't lose a lot of ground. Very good. 7 of hearts. We would have to play that on the 3, but then we're locking out a lot of these already. So let's try to pull something smaller from the supply, and we get the 2 of hearts, neither of which we can play. But we have to do something with this. You must use this card to build onto a new or existing cabin stack, or it gets tossed to Lost at Sea. So we have to play it, and this will have to go out to the tide. So that's going to be challenging for either clubs or diamonds, probably, because now we can't have 2 of each. 6 of hearts coming at a good time, though, so we're going to play that out on the 3, just like that. Now we've got the 3 of diamonds, which we will play here. So the clubs, we're basically hoping that we draw into low clubs to start and keep that rolling. Let's see. Not really. 6 of clubs right here. That's fine. We'll see what happens with that. That basically locks us out of 2, 3, 4, 5 right away. 10 of spades we like. We'll put that right there. Keep it rolling. We've got the 10 of diamonds now, which I don't love. It's already a nice big high one. So we try this one, and that's the 9 of clubs. That's real bad. Oh, we got a lot of clubs going out this one. I don't know about it. We might have set the high water mark on the first one because it's supposed to be. It's water based. 10 of hearts. We like that one. Yes, PNW represent. We love that is the entire name of the game, is it not? PNW, card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest. Xerox, we are right on it. Now, speaking of, I should have been showing the aces to the camera this whole time because they are specific places around Pacific Northwest as well. So all of our PNW folks watching, because obviously we have a bunch of people who live there who tune into the channel. Mount Rainier. Give memories or context of the locations if you so choose. Your own experiences with them if you have any. 4 of spades, that is fine. We can play that right on the ace and we'll be good with that. We've got the 4 of hearts, which we can play right on the 2, so that's going to work out well for the hearts right there. We've got the 5 of hearts, which also works out really well, so let's put that right there. We've got the 4 of... See, this is what I was worried about. So now we got to go over to the supply pile, and that's the 2. So none of those are going to work. This goes out to Lost at Sea because we can't play it. This one goes out to the tide, which I'm just going to put... I'm going to cheatsy doodles a little bit, put it right out into Lost at Sea already, because even when we start pulling from the tide again, we're not going to be able to play it, and we know that. So, same deal here. 8 of clubs, can't play it. Flip over the Ace of Diamonds at Crater Lake. Taking opinions on Crater Lake. So we have to play this down, which sucks. So we're going to put that onto the 5 here and basically lock that away entirely. This is where we want to start getting into some of the beach pile. We can look through it since it's face up, and we were looking at the diamonds here just to kind of see what we're locking out, and looks like we can go Jack King on the diamonds if we fill that one up properly. Got to think ahead a little bit. Alrighty, we've got the 9 of hearts, which we can play right here, as a matter of fact, and we are going to. So there's that. What a lovely little chill night we're having. How about that? Not often that we get some of these on the channel. 9 of diamonds. We can technically play it. Let's see if we get something different off of this, and that was a much better idea. We've got the 6 of diamonds here. So this one can go out to sea, and maybe we get back to it at a later date. 7 of diamonds. Perfect timing on that one as well. We're going to keep stacking those up real nice. We've got the 7 of spades, which we can play right here, and I kind of like that one. And then we've got the 2 of spades, which we cannot play, so we come over here for this, and that's the 5 of spades, which we cannot play, so we're just going to take both of those, put them into Lost at Sea, and accept our fate. Alrighty, we have, it looks like, 6 more cards in the supply pile. And we have 1, 2, 3 aces out already, so we have an ace of hearts left, which I think we can take. So let's empty out this first. 10 of clubs. We can play it, and that's actually perfect. We love when it's 1 up, just like that. 3 of clubs, cannot play. Out to lost at sea. 3 of spades, cannot play. Out to lost at sea. Oh dear. 2 of diamonds, cannot play. Out to lost at sea. I'm sensing a pattern here. 5 of clubs, cannot play. And finally, ace of hearts. We can burn one here. That is, by the way, Hurricane Ridge. We established that it's a ridge that probably has hurricanes. Again, PNW fans of the place you live, I assume you're fans of it. Give us the lowdown on it. All right, so going through here, there are some that we're going to be able to play, so we're going to take this in sequence. 9 of diamonds we can play right away. 8 of clubs, out to the pile. 10 of diamonds we can play, and that's going to set us up really well for the face cards. 7 of hearts we've got, and that's good. This diamond is out. 4 diamonds. 9 of spades we can play right here, and that's great. 8 of diamonds we cannot play. That's a victim of bad order. And 7 of clubs we cannot play either. All right, now we get to our face cards. And seeing the order that we have here, we're going to go through one by one because we have to. The queens up the front are not ideal, but we're going to roll with them anyway. We've got the queen of spades here. We've got the queen of clubs we have to put here. And that'll be good for that king. The jack of hearts, and the hearts go in order here, thankfully, so we can just put the jack here. We've got the jack of diamonds, which is a good order there. We've got the king of spades, which is a good order there. We've got the king of diamonds, which we can use here. Queen of hearts goes right here. Queen of diamonds, unfortunately, bad timing there. King of clubs, good. Jack of spades, nice. This is why we keep those open, wide open. King of hearts, right there. Jack of spade or jack of clubs cannot play. There's our board. How lovely. Now we count them up and see if we are ahead or behind relative to the rest of it. So 2 face cards that we weren't able to play. The main thrust of this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And ironically enough, we are right in the middle, 14, 16 points. So not our best, not our worst. That is right smack in the middle. My back hurts. I'm going to lean backwards. How about that? How lovely. Thanks all for tuning in, though, tonight. This is a nice change of pace for us, and we're appreciating it. So I think we can do probably 1 or 2 more. I'm going to take a quick hydration break here just to start setting up the next game as well. So what we'll do, we'll pull out the face cards here, just like this, and we'll get them all set up, ready to go. So we'll do some of the rounds with the variants, I think, when we get back from break. So that will mean, if I go through the variant descriptions, these are the ones that are included with the book that you buy, because you can buy the book. Let's get these piles going, and I'm going to start the shuffle just to be a little proactive here. Some of the variants that we have. The number of cabin stacks is itself a variable. You can make the game harder by only using 7 cabin stacks instead of 8, and made easier by using 9 cabin stacks, so certainly an option. Murky depths, which I kind of like. Shuffle the tide pile and place it face down once the sea pile runs out. So you don't have that definitive order that you can count on to get you where you need to go. Stockpiling. You may place the sea card revealed on each turn on top of the beach pile instead of a cabin pile. So that gives you the option to put it on top of these, the kind of cavalcade of face cards, to kind of give you a almost like storage, if you will, because then you can play out of the beach next turn, and we will beach you off for sure. Ken, hi Barbie. So that's kind of fun. All right, so we have our numeric cards here, and then the ones that we had from the pile. So we're gonna do that, and then sort of mix these in all nice. We have 12 cards in addition to the 4 aces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Mix all those up, put them in a pot. And what do you get? You get another game of PNW. That's what you get. And we're going to keep it going for you for at least a while longer here. While we're all together. We like being together. That's your supply. We'll shuffle in the face cards as well. And like I said, we'll take a quick break here. We'll be right back in just a minute or two, most likely, with some more PNW and some more Cabin by the Sea solitaire play on a chill Thursday night here on the road to PAX West, here on Hypocritic GG, streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Lou, I'm Cheatspeak, and we'll have more for you on the other side of this break. No fancy remix this time around, no Sonic 4 art dancing about, just all the usual stuff. Starting off with a king, already not optimistic. We will be right back. Do not go anywhere. Gotta awkwardly reach for the computer. Yay. And welcome back. Not too bad, right? Pretty quick. You are watching Hypocritic GG. Still, streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Lou, some call me Cheatspeak. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Through the break, we've got some more beautiful solitaire action for you here in the form of PNW, card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest. Great to be finally whipping through this and having a nice little night for ourselves. And I'm sure it's one that you'll be seeing more of because, like I said, most of this is geared towards somewhere in the ballpark of 2 to 4 players. So I would imagine this will be a really fun one for us to play in the free play area of PAX Unplugged this year, for example. So I would definitely expect PNW to make a return in a very public way when the time comes, if not at West for any kind of live streams that we do. Certainly at Unplugged. I think this is a great candidate for that and a nice kind of 1-year anniversary of our coverage of it, which is something we love to do. On these Road to streams, we love to pull out kind of convention-centric content for you based on, games we saw at past shows especially. So that's always fun. And what we will end up doing is probably more of that over the next couple of weeks. There will be a few more streams, I think, in the run-up to PAX West, which is probably about 2 weeks away at this point. Just about 2 weeks away, which is crazy. So we'll have, hopefully, 2 more Road 2 streams for you. And then, on kind of a programming note as we continue on here tonight, the next review could be up as soon as this weekend. I've been grinding through it, and It's going to be an interesting one. So I forget what the exact hint was that we had on our Discord about it. So if I lean my arms into frame, I can tell you. If you !Discord, you can see that for yourself. The only hint that we gave was a portable take on a console classic. That's very vague. We'll take guesses in the chat here tonight if you want to offer up any thoughts on what that might be, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But curious to hear your thoughts. So that one's coming, again, potentially as soon as this weekend. I may end up filming the on-camera bits tomorrow. Who's to say? Alrighty. And then, of course, a bevy of amazing content from PAX West. We've been starting to build the schedule very slowly. I think there's 1 or 2 games that are on my radar currently that will kind of depend on press and media access to certain after-hours events. Hint, hint. So, more to come. Still a couple of weeks away. We got to put our coverage agenda together. But West last year, that being our first PAX West, was a ton of fun. And so unique because the more time you spend in this industry, which we've had plenty of experience in, the less you get to have those big firsts that are so interesting. And it was very cool to have our first West kind of under our belt. So now West number 2 is on the agenda. Let's go. We have variants now. I think we're going to do 2 variants. We're going to pull out Murky Depths, which means we shuffle the Tide pile over here and place it face down once this Sea pile runs out. So that goes a little more randomly. And then we're going to do stockpiling. So we can place the Sea card revealed on each turn on top of the Beach pile here instead of the Cabin pile. So we can play out of there whenever we want. So it makes it a little easier, makes it a little harder at the same time. Let's see how we do. And let's get back into it. So to start, 10 of diamonds. Don't love that. Let's try to get something smaller already. And 7 of diamonds will do. So we'll throw that right over there. And the 10 goes into the Tide. Yeah, unfortunate timing. 5 of diamonds, let's put that one on the Beach pile. Let's see if we come back to it later. And that's a great reason why we should have. We'll take the 4 of diamonds there, and then we can only play out of the Beach after we draw here. So I think that's a valid one. We can take out of the Beach pile here, play down that 5 of diamonds, and cast this away, which I think is about as good as you could ask for there. 5 of clubs. Looks pretty good to me, but let's see if we can do a little better. Let's toss this one on the Beach pile and keep going. 3 of diamonds. See, that's unfortunate. We can't have 3 diamond piles going, so let's grab from here. 4 of clubs will work, and again, that gives us a great flow here. So this can go out into the Tide, and then whatever this is, the 5 of spades, I think we're going to play that one too. You want like the 2s or the 3s there to start probably, but we're going to give that a go. Speaking of 2 of diamonds, but that's a perfect time for us to play this because we can put the 2 of diamonds away just like that. 10 of spades. I think that's a good Beach candidate to store up right there because we're going to shuffle all of this in, so we don't know what that pile is going to look like. 7 of spades we can play here, so we'll take that. We still don't have any hearts out, do we? 3. That's a good start for the 2nd spade pile, so we'll take that. 8 of spades is also very good, so that's going to go right there. Not a lot of heart action here, and there's a 7 of hearts, which I'm willing to bank. So we'll put that over into the Beach pile. We've got the 3 of clubs, which is another good one to put down. So now we just kind of need to make heart piles at this point. We've got the 8 of diamonds, which is a perfect candidate for right there. This one's flowing pretty well. Here we go. We've got the 10 of clubs, which is not ideal. I think that's well, that's a beachable one, I think. We'll pull out the C7 of clubs, much better, so we'll get that going up there. We like that. 8 of clubs is even better, timing-wise. Okay, 9 of hearts. We don't love that one either, and that's going to be before that one in the beach pile, so let's try to get rid of it here. 6 of clubs works a lot better, and actually that's going to fit in the flow a lot nicer because now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we like that. This one goes out to the tide. 9 of clubs. That's perfect. Perfect. I don't know what that was. 9 of diamonds. That's great. That goes right here. All right. So far, so good. 4 of spades right there. Oh, baby. Keep it rolling. 6 of spades. Oh, baby. Look at us go. I think we're pretty locked in here. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. And the 3 of hearts. That's a great one to put down as a pile. We don't even have 8 down yet. All right. So now that the C is all taken care of, we go shuffle in our tide pile, which admittedly doesn't have a lot into it. So we can now start pulling from wherever we want to. And I'm willing to start going from here. But actually, let's start with here. We have the 10 of clubs right off of the beach pile here. We're going to hold on to that 7 at the moment. So let's pull from here. Nicely done. We've got the ace of hearts, which is again Hurricane Ridge. So that's a nice little bit of something for you. So that's going to go right here. We're going to shift these over a little bit. Now, this pile is really our issue here, the supply pile, because we pulled out of it so infrequently. We've got 5 of hearts, which is good. I'm anticipating there's going to be a lot of hearts in there because we haven't seen them. That is going to have to go down, unfortunately, and that is the ace of spades. We haven't seen too many aces yet, so we might have to hold off on that pile a little. We'll pull the beach pile here and put the 7 down. And then the 10 of spades is going to have to sit. Let's see what we get out of the tide here. We've got the 3 of diamonds, which we cannot play. So out to that we go. We've got the 9 of hearts, which we can play. So we're going to put that right there. We've got the 9 of spades. We're going to kind of brush off the spades here, I think, unfortunately. So that's got to go there. We've got the 2 of diamonds, which we definitely cannot play if we can't play the 3. And then we've got the 10 of diamonds, which we can. And we've got a real nice stack going right there. That's going to open us up for the 10 of spades right there. And now the kings. We're going to take a risk with some of these clubs maybe, because now let's see what we've got for the rest of this. The diamonds will fill out. We can play through at least some of this. So what I'm going to do here is play. We just got to be careful with those clubs. So we've got the king we're going to put here. We've got the queen of diamonds we're going to put up here, leaving one pile open. All right, like that. And we've got the king of diamonds in that order that we're going to put there. The aces we have some flexibility on, and that still starts a fresh pile. So these can wait. Let's see if we can fish for those aces. We've got the 8 of hearts. That kind of sucks. We got to play that one right there. We've got the 6 of hearts. Not great timing there. That goes away. We've got the 6 of diamonds, which we can play, and that's a good one. We've got the 2 of spades, which we can't play, or the 2 of clubs, sorry. We knew that. 4 of hearts we cannot play. We're just going to empty this out. The ace of clubs. Perfectly done off the top of that one. We've got the 2 of spades, cannot play. We've got the 2 of hearts, cannot play. We've got the ace of diamonds, very nicely done over here. And finally, to round it out, we've got the 10 of hearts, which goes very smartly right there. So now with that pile onward, let's see what we can do with the remainder of our face cards here. And we have to go in order. King of hearts goes right here. We've got the queen of spades, which has to go here. We've got the jack of hearts, which has to go here. We've got the king of spades, which has to go here. Queen of hearts goes here. Jack of spades cannot play. Queen of clubs goes here. Jack of clubs cannot play. Jack of diamonds cannot play. Boom. With the new mechanics in flow, This is our board. So let's see if this was better, worse, about even than the non-variant versions that we did. So we had 3 face cards this time around, all jacks off of, and this was where it came in pretty well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 7 numerical cards, which is 7 points. 9, 11, 13. So even with the extra couple face cards and puttering out near the end a little bit, petering out, whatever, 13 points. So the lower the better when you count up what was left unplayed. So that's about as good as we've done so far, and that's pretty solid. I really like this, and unfortunately, this is probably going to have to be a shorter stream than usual, so we may have to start calling it for the night here. But to sort of wind it down, this is really, really fun. And like we were saying at the top of the stream, we were really intrigued by Thomas, the creator's kind of thought process behind bringing such new, kind of more modernized mechanics to what is one of the oldest forms of entertainment that you can probably think of, which is just your standard 52 card deck, right? And his approach and philosophy to crafting not just something that, you know, gave these tried and true cards a fresh twist, but honored his beloved Pacific Northwest as well, was always, I mean, it caught our eye right away. We all 3 of us at Hippo, Baloney, Sari, and myself, personally funded the Kickstarter. And like you saw, if you were watching when we started, the fun little thank you note that comes with the Kickstarter package also lists out what number backer you were. So I happen to be number 77 out of 877, which is cool. And again, just to sort of read it and spoil it for everybody, thank you for supporting our PNW Kickstarter. You've supported a family-run indie game company, a local PNW illustrator, and our journey in game design. We are lucky to have friends, family, and total strangers willing to take a chance on this endeavor. We hope you enjoy the games and cards as much as we enjoyed creating them. And I would say so far we are. It's been a lot of fun. There are 2 decks here that we have, so there's a second one I haven't cracked open yet, and that's very fun, alongside the what are these cards card, a kind of divider card, and the 2 beautiful jokers. Look at that one right there, for example. Caw. Wow. So this is all available on gameswell.shop, since the Kickstarter is long since passed, and actually funded throughout the entirety of PAX Unplugged, and I think they hit their goal before the show was even over, maybe even half over. So that was obviously really encouraging from that point of view. And it's been a ton of fun. So what I think... Do I do one more? I was thinking maybe we do one more. We have some folks still trickling in. Yeah, you know what? For those of you just tuning in, you have inspired me to do one more. Congratulations. Before we formally wind it down. But I've blathered on enough, so we will probably just call it right at the end. Summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. See, then Fort wouldn't have been able to start cracking wise. How are you? I will not be doing that. So we have to pull out the face cards again, as usual here. We have to separate out the aces. We're going to play with those variants again, because that honestly kind of seemed to make it easier, since we could do those. Having that beach bank was very, very helpful. Got our 4 aces, got all our face cards here, and then we shuffle up the rest of them. What is this, IRL Balatro? People are running out of ideas. Don't let them hear you say that. They're gonna know. Well, can you imagine IRL? Like poker? You mean we're playing poker? No. This is PNW. We like that. How you doing, Fort? Again, just to reiterate, we do have a full-length interview with the creator of PNW, Thomas, available on our YouTube channel, which we will probably link below in the description. If you're watching on Twitch, can't help you. Go over to the YouTube and watch it. Very cool and illuminating discussion, which I really appreciated. And again, they funded their entire Kickstarter, which I think launched at the beginning of Unplugged, within probably a day or two. We went back to see them about halfway through the show, and it was fully funded with an incredibly modest $2,000 goal, I might add. They raised about 18 grand, which was super, super cool. And now, again, all of this is available on gameswell.shop if you're interested. Again, this stream is not sponsored by PNW. No greased palms, no money exchanged hands. We funded their Kickstarter personally out of our own coffers just because we really vibed with the idea. So we like that. 4 aces down. We got to put 12 cards on top of that poker. I hardly know her. That actually kind of works, and that's a little 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Risque there, Fort. How you doing? We're having a nice chill night for ourselves. For once, and you love to see it. I'm just going to give it a nice little shuffle again. I can't ripple shuffle. I wish I could. Alas, and again, we apologize profusely for the grotesque lighting that is casting my face in all sorts of lovely, lovely ways. This VOD has to look horrific. But again, we're sort of just out at the kitchen table because I needed some space to roam here, so here we are. And now again, we're going to play through Cabin by the Sea here, the solitaire game and variant of PNW. And if you're interested, again, there are 6 variations in total in the beautiful book that's been provided here, so just to list them out. Set collection game for 2 to 8 players, a drafting game for 3 to 4 players, a worker placement game for 3 to 6 players, deck building game for 2 players, a team trick taking game for 4 players, and of course solitaire for 1 player. Celeste, pizza for 1. Alrighty, so we have to start from the C pile here. We draw from the C pile. We can either play that or draw from the beach or the supply pile. If we do so, we have to play one of those cards, and then the C pile goes into the tide here. Whatever we cannot play, ultimately, when the game kind of runs its course, goes into the lost at sea pile, and that's what we add up for point totals at the end. My pal's back. Hi, Vinny. See, it was a good thing we stuck around, and we were going to wrap up after an hour and a half. What kind of malarkey is that? They should make another single-player game for cards other than solitaire. That damn multiplayer fad has ruined single-player gaming. Shake my head. I think there are some folks who might agree with you out there. Alrighty, let's begin. So we put the cards into one of 8 cabin piles as we go here. So obviously you want to start with the lowest numbers possible and work your way up. That said, 4 of spades is pretty good to start, so we're going to kick off with that one. Go from there. I mean, that's the dream. 2 of diamonds is about as good as you can get in that aspect. 3 of hearts, same deal. This is a really, really strong start for us. Hard to ask for more here. We haven't had to dip into any of these piles yet. Now we maybe will. 9 of spades. I'm going to deposit into the beach pile just for the time being. See if we can pull that out at a later date. All right, so this one I don't want to necessarily store up either. We could risk drawing out of the supply pile with it, and maybe we will, but we're not going to. So that can go onto the beach pile as well. And for good reason, here comes the 2 of clubs there. So that sits in pile number 4, and that's ideal as well, so we can build up from there. 5 of diamonds. I'll also make a separate pile for that one, so we've got 2. Let's actually order them by suit, so it's a little more obvious what's where. 8 of hearts. Don't love that one. Let's beach that one for the time being. Kind of store those up. We've got the 7 of diamonds, which I will take here, so we're going to put that right on the 5. We've got the 10 of diamonds. That one I think we can bank as well. We're doing a lot of banking here, and we haven't dipped into this pile just yet. 6 of clubs. I'm going to be a little risky, and maybe we're going to put that one in as our second club pile. What do you think? It's already done. Doesn't matter. 8 of clubs. We'll take that. And then do we have a club sitting in the beach pile? We have the 7 of clubs. We have to play down to it out of the beach pile. So I don't know that that's a super wise opportunity here. We've got the 5 of hearts, which I will put down as a second pile. That's a pretty low one. I like that. We've got the 3 of clubs, which is ideal, so we can drop this guy right up here. The 6 of C plebs? Excuse me. Pleb status. 6 of Diamonds. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. You called the 6, Vinny. What's going on here? Then we're just kind of throwing out the 3 and the 4. Let's bank this one as well. That's kind of helpful, actually. All right, so there's that. Can I pull out the 10? Yes. So what I will do, we'll do this. And actually, good thing we waited. So there's a 4 of diamonds. We're going to throw that right there. Looking for a separate spade pile. Haven't got it just yet. We've got the 9 of hearts. I guess we'll bank that one too. This is getting dangerously bankable. Let's get the 3 of spades down there. Now we're all full. The board is full. We've got the 6 of hearts. That's ideal. So we'll put that right there. We've got the 7 of hearts. Even better. We love having a nice, calm pile to work on. 2 of hearts we cannot play, so we have to go through one of these. We'll take off of the beach pile here, add the 9, which means this goes out to the tide, which we haven't put anything in yet, which is kind of crazy. The 4 of hearts, that's great. That'll go right there. Next to no spades, so there's going to be a ton of spades in the supply. We can tell you that right now. And the 5 of clubs, which we can, in fact, play. Beautifully done. I'm thinking, so we would normally take the tide pile here and shuffle it up, put it face down, but now we know we have a 2 of hearts that we can't play anyway. So I'm just going to move that right to the Lost at Sea and not even worry about it. So now what we can do is work through the beach pile, which we can take a look at here. And you can see as we work our way through, that 8 would have been useful earlier. And then we've got all of the face cards to worry about. And we will get there. So let's work through a little bit of this while we can. We've got the 6 of diamonds, which we can play right here. We've got the 10 of diamonds, which we can play right here. I like that. We've got the 8, which we're going to hold on to. Hopefully we can get a smaller, well, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we can't. So this is the next highest heart. That's fine. 7 of clubs we can play and comfortably. 9 of spades, that I'm going to wait on. So there's got to be lower spades in here. We're going to try to draw into them. This is where we're just kind of... Excuse me. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm yelling upwards at it. It's on a flimsy tripod pointed down at the table. What do you want from me? It's guerrilla style. It's guerrilla warfare this time around. All right, so now we're kind of at the mercy of the supply pile here. Let's see what we can do. The 7 of spades we're going to play up top here. I think that gives us a pretty good landing spot for the 9 as well. So at the risk of losing that spot, unexcused. You want me to shake? I'll go full earthquake on it. Don't you worry. 3 of diamonds cannot play. Goes away. 10 of spades. That's why we wait. That goes right there. Beautifully done. Ace of... Oh, see, we don't have any aces out yet, so this is actually going to cover up pretty much everything here. So we have to be very, very careful. Let's put the ace here. Now we got to try to work through this pile, I think, because we're going to run into aces and start blocking off entire sections here. Not ideal for waiting, so we actually have all of these in order, which is amazing. Jack, queen, king of clubs, all in a row. We can risk, I think, we get the jack down. Jack of mushrooms. Like Joe Bag of Donuts, more like. I'm willing to take some of this risk here. We can't necessarily get that jack down. We'll at least play the queen up here so that the ace has somewhere to go. The queen of hearts, we're just not going to be able to play, so let's land that there. And the hearts are more or less done. So there's that. We have a lot of diamonds left. No ace of diamonds just yet. So we're kind of locked out on the jack here anyway. Or are we? Let's try to play through all of this, and then we're going to kind of risk the rest of these. We're going to play down the king and the queen here. We have to play the jack, so we'll hold on to the spades. Okay, I think this is reasonable. All right, let's start working through this pile then. We've got Not great. The 8 of spades here, which means the jack could honestly go there. Hey, yo, who wanted a burrito? I do. I want a burrito always. All right, so let's do... Do I want to throw that that jack down? I might. Because if we have an ace... If the ace of spades comes up, that locks a lot out here. So... Let's take a risk. 5 of spades. Out to the C. We've got the 10 of clubs, which we can play. That's good. All right, one more. There it is. No, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so that screws us because now we have to discard basically that one. The king of spades can still play. Can we play the jack of diamonds eventually? Do we have the ace of diamonds out? No, but that one goes there. So let's just see the order of the diamonds then. 2 of spades can't play. Ace of clubs can go right there. 9 of clubs cannot play. 4 of clubs cannot play. Ace of diamonds goes right there. Little Crater Lake. By the way, the ace of clubs, which we haven't talked about yet for the artwork, is Deception Pass. Once again, taking stories. 10 of hearts cannot play. I want to just lay the jack down. 6 of... It's 7, 8. There should be a 9. Is there a 9 in there? Yeah, so this should be the 9 of diamonds coming, right? Because there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No 9. There it is. So there you go. 9 of diamonds. Play down the jack. Queen we can't play. And there's our lovely pile. Pal just got low-key Balatro. It is. It's Balatro in real life, but not. That's the beauty of cards, isn't it? All right. Let's count up our points. Again, 1 point per numeric card. 2 points per face card. 3 points per ace. Lowest point total is ideal. We have 2 face cards that we couldn't play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, actually 10, 12. That's our best round yet. Look at that. We went 1 down from before. And while it was looking a little sketchy with that ace, we could have optimized even more. We're even closer to a single-digit score here, which is super cool. I really like this. So again, if you're interested in, we will probably have to call it there for tonight. This was I was just happy to get this stream done at all, honestly, because this was delayed a couple of times. I know that, you know, adulting made it difficult to get this off the ground, and it's a little bit guerrilla mode with the gross lighting and you know how we needed to bring this together. But I really wanted to highlight PNW now that it's out, because the Kickstarter rewards in the game just started shipping a couple of weeks ago. So it was really fun to... It was really, really gratifying to back it. I'm so glad that it came out and looks so fantastic and feels so great. Again, gameswell.shop is where to go for that. And if you're interested, you can pick up the cards themselves, or I think just the book if you already have, you know, a deck of cards you want to use yourself. Again, there are 6 different modern game mechanics grafted onto that familiar 52 card deck right there. So once again, if you were to get the rule book, again, PNW Pacific card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest. It's even on the spine in case you forget. 6 games you can play. Forage, a set collection game for 2 to 8 players. Trail, a drafting game for 3 to 4 players. Orca Isles, worker placement game for 3 to 6 players. Salmon Run, deck building for 2 players. Signal Fire, team trick taking for 4 players. And Cabin by the Sea, obviously, 1-player solitaire, as we have been playing all night. I expect that you will see PNW return on the channel, probably around PAX Unplugged, if not at PAX Unplugged, which will be a very fun 1-year anniversary of our interview with the game creator Thomas, which you can see on our YouTube channel. If you're not watching there already, check it out if you're over on Twitch, and do get subscribed. We're close to 500 subs, as it turns out. So if we manage to hit 500 subs before PAX West, maybe we'll do something special. We haven't announced it yet, but maybe we will. And we're going to be cranking out some content to get there, not least of which is going to be a new review, which is pretty far along and potentially could come out as soon as this weekend, which would be super nice. No other hints really dropped other than what we put in the Discord, !Discord if you want to join it, which is just a portable take on a console classic. That could mean anything. Let us know in the Discord if you have any thoughts or guesses on what that game actually is. I think it's kind of a deep cut in its console library, kind of. So we'll see. At any rate, more coming up, and there will be more content on the road to PAX West as we prepare for the big show in just over 2 weeks, I believe. Half an hour until midnight here until Friday. It is then it will be 2 weeks away on the dot. So we have a lot to do to prep for it. It's going to be a great show, working on content for you. It's going to be a wonderful time. Hope you join us for that crazy, ridiculous ride. GG, pals. Yeah, this one surprised me, was asleep. Yeah, it was supposed to be on Tuesday. Couldn't do it on Tuesday. Too much going on. Couldn't do it yesterday either, which it took me almost 3 hours to get home from work. My commute's already 80, 90 minutes as it is. There was so much traffic after some pretty ridiculous rainstorms that we got across New York and Jersey that there were so many accidents, unfortunately. It did take me almost 3 hours to get home. Thoughts up for all the people who were involved, because some of them looked pretty rough. But here we are. So we got the stream done Thursday night. We will hopefully have a nice little Jackbox night in between now and PAX West as well, since Jackbox Games is such a big part of that PAX experience. They always set up, a big PlayStation, not the console, an actual station where you can play it, and the audience joins in, and it's always crazy. So that's and interesting, as you might imagine. So that's always fun. Maybe we'll be doing that one of these weekends as well. For now, thanks for tuning in. This has been Hypocritic GG, streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Lou, I'm Cheatspeak. We hope you enjoyed this look at PNW, the recently launched set of card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest. Stay tuned here on Twitch and YouTube. Get subscribed and followed for more content on the road to PAX West and beyond. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We'll catch you back here real soon.